I just went to Target because I have a little cold. Well, actually, I'm pretty sick. I puked this morning, which is something that hasn't happened in years. And one thought I had surrounding that idea is of why I actually puked was because yesterday I felt like God was telling me to fast, and I didn't really listen to that. And I heard somewhere that your body needs time to like just empty out, and that's what fasts can do sometimes, is they allow your body to like reset. And so there's like health benefits and like practicality to fasting. And what I realize is that God knows more than me, but that's obvious. But it's the fact that God knows so much more, that what he's asking me to do is because he knows that it's going to be good for me in the long run. That if I would have listened to him and fasted like he asked me to, I wouldn't have puked. Because God knew that there was something, at the bare minimum, he knew that there was something in my body that needed to reset. And I didn't listen because I didn't want to, because I didn't want to, I wanted to enjoy food. It's always funny too though, because whenever food is involved, like whenever I feel like God asks you to fast, food never tastes as good when you know you should be fasting. It never tastes good. So at that point, you may as well just concede and be like, well, food's not going to taste good. God just took all the flavor away because he asked me to fast, so I'm going to fast. I don't know. Whatever it takes, I guess. But I was going through it this morning, and as I was going through it, I was understanding that pain is not always valuable. Sometimes pain is a waste. Sometimes pain is not necessary. But what is necessary is when you have the moments of peace to put yourself in situations where you get pain, where you go through pain, because that's the pain that grows. The pain that you have, to a certain degree, control over. Like going to the gym, sweating, running. Whenever you're like puking, you're like, God, I'll do anything. And it's like, well, you gotta realize you better start doing something, because one day you're gonna have pain and it's not gonna go away. I'm talking metaphysically, I'm talking like eternally. You have to give your life to God. This is what I'm trying to learn. I also had this interesting thought that was like, imagine if you couldn't do anything except what you were supposed to do in any given moment, and if you started doing something you weren't supposed to do, your body would hurt, almost as a signal, as like, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. That would be amazing if you were not able to do anything that you weren't supposed to do. But it is possible. You just have to get a higher level of passion and devotion and focus, and you just have to believe that what you're after is more valuable than these distractions, and then you will feel that pain internally. And I believe it'll get to a point where you build your habits up so deeply that it becomes second nature. Like, I was driving to Target, and I drive a lot. I've driven probably at least 3,000 hours in my life. which is like a third to becoming a master, you know? Let me see. Yeah, that's like 125 full days. Something like a third to a half of the way to 10,000 hours. And what I realize is, like, I'm feeling trash right now. And I was feeling mostly when I was driving. And I was able to drive perfectly, even though I was like drowsy, my eyes were closed, I was like not really feeling good, my stomach was turning, but I was able to drive because that time that I've put in has turned into a technical ability that enables me to just activate whenever it's necessary. And I think our relationship with God should become like that. I talk about the relationship with God a lot because the relationship with God is the all-encompassing reality that we live in. God created everything. And so our engagement with Him is reality itself. That's why I talk about God a lot. And I could assume that people hear me say God and then they kind of roll their eyes because they don't have a relationship with Him. Or they have this nuanced perspective, especially in Western culture, of who God is. Which a lot of that is not true. Because a lot of that I've talked about before is like a box that we put God in. But I can't not talk about God whenever I am in dialogue with myself. And so these are sort of me being in dialogue with myself. So I talk about God. It does not mean that I'm always in relationship with God. It doesn't mean that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It's just the way I see. And I guess I'm saying that because I don't want anyone to be jealous or think things about me that aren't true. Because I'm just like, honestly, a struggling human being. Very much. I still have big issues that I have to figure out in my life. I don't get along with many people. I don't have many friends. So I'm just trying to live, trying to figure out reality. It's not that deep, really. I just don't want jealousy to be a hindrance to why people don't watch my videos. Because I think I have valuable insights, and I think that jealousy prohibiting your ability to receive insight is a waste of energy.